everyone? Welcome to another night of Gadget Talk. I'm just looking at the comments over here already. Tricasha says, good evening from Snowbound, Gilby, North Dakota. And you've got snow too, right, Chad?
We have some snow. Nothing like Gilby, I'm sure. So
okay, yeah.
We have a foot, and that's about it.
Yeah, right now it is, you're going to hate me. I'm going to have to kick myself out of the show in a second. It's 66 degrees outside right now.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, and a friend of mine in Dallas, it was 82 or something. Their kids were in the pool swimming. I'm like, I'm moving.
Yeah,
I'm tired of this.
Yeah, we had 75-degree weather on Christmas Day. I want, at least, if any time, that's the day it needs to be cold. To me, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I would rather have some snow right now than what we have, because it'll be 35 degrees one day, it'll be 75 the next day, and people are just getting sick left and right. It's just killing me. So, but
yeah, tomorrow's supposed to be the coldest day on record in Seattle. So this year we've had the hottest day and the coldest day both in 1 year.
Wow. Barely making it at the end of the year. So yeah, that's crazy. So, but before we get too much further, let's go ahead and take care of our sponsors. So here's that video.
If you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today.
Logwork, the creators of the fantastic logbooks made with genuine Write in the Rain paper. The logbooks designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who'd rather go caching than doing cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and the hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
All right. Taking care of that. Other things that we got going on. Let's see here. Before we get too far, no regular show this Sunday. They're taking this week off as well because of New Year's. They will be back the following week. And then also we'll be back next week as well on Tuesday. And then Challenge Talk will be on, I don't know if I don't remember if it's next Thursday. It sometimes does confuse me on which, but I think they're the first Thursday of the month as well. So, but those are the things that's going on right now. So don't tune in for taking this Sunday off on the Sunday night show. So just let everybody know. But tonight we are going to be talking about sci-fi inspired caches, and you're actually going to be building several tonight. Correct?
Well, I'm going to be showing them. I'm not going to build them. We're going to save that for the challenge. So the challenge next month is going to be a sci-fi cache inspired or sci-fi cache type of challenge. So if you make one, it doesn't have to be anything like what I'm showing tonight. These are just kind of some designs I'm showing you, or thoughts, right? But yeah, we want you to come on and show them on the show next end of next month. Yes. End of January.
End of January.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, these are just going to be some ideas I have. And if you have any, please post it in the chat. We'd love to hear about some thoughts that you will have, or that you may have. So we don't need to talk about coldness. I see Chad is talking about, or Tricashius is, how cold is cold to me? Well, probably not as cold as they have, right? So
no,
but
and then
I think
Ninja,
I don't know what it's supposed to be.
Oh, Hugh's at negative 15C. And then Pizza Ninja goes, howdy from beautiful West New York, where the temps are cold and the buffalo wings are hot. That sounds good.
Nice.
Negative 16.
Yeah, we're not minus 16. We're not that crazy. Come on.
It's 70 degrees difference between. Actually, no. That's 86 degrees difference. I think, yeah, 86 from where I'm at right now to you, Chad. That's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, wrong. Yeah, other Chad. Yeah. Mini Mac 52 in Santa Barbara. I feel like we're a weather show. So it's nice weather report from
really.
all around our listening audience. No, so
and if we get a 50% right, we're just like all the newscasts, right?
Yeah. I mean, what job can you be wrong half the time and still keep your job? Weatherman.
Yeah, really.
So
cool. All right. Well, sorry, enough of that. Okay, so some thoughts I had, and I kind of showed last week. So I have 2 different containers I'm going to show. So one is like a capsule type of container, that I made. It's half 3D printed and half not, half a PVC pipe. And so if you have a 3D printer and you want the design to print to make one, let me know and I can send it to you as well. So just email us at thegadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com. And Derek or I, one of us will email it to you.
So that means I'm getting my copy of it too, then I take it.
Yes. You know what? You know how easy it is to get your own copy if I don't send it to you? You go to Thingiverse and you type, I didn't design it, it's off of Thingiverse. So
oh, is it? Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So the first one I'll show just the parts and pieces and my thought for it. Now I didn't finish it at all because I want to do it for the show next week. But hopefully this camera isn't too bad. This is what I have. So this is a 2-part one. This cache opens here, and this is the logbook side. So you can kind of see where it has an area for a logbook on it. And then this side here is for the swag. Now you can make it, you can decide your distance between the two if you want. You can have it all one piece, whatever you want. You could have one side solid, so you open it up and there's nothing there, and don't tell them about this side opening and see if they can find it. You know, it's up to you. So
you can do like a radioactive yellow or something like that to it.
You can just be careful when you put it out.
Right. What I think
radioactive yellow will be fine.
Yeah, what I think that looks like is if you remember from
Scream?
I just Monsters Inc. Monster Inc. It looks like the laugh container to me from Monsters Inc.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, that'd be fun to make one like that, actually. So when you 3D print, we've gone over 3D printing so much. You'll get the parts out, and then it'll all have supports in them. You got to take them all out, which is not the fun part, which is why that one's not done. So you'll get all the parts. You'll get all the pieces together, and once you get all the supports out of it and everything, this is the bottom, and it's open here on the bottom, and so it comes with plugs. I find all parts that just goes in there, and you can glue it in. The nice thing about this is if you wanted to put a piece of clear acrylic in there and make a puzzle out of it, or something you have to look into,
that would be cool.
That's kind of cool. So it actually gives you a lot of options on different ways to make this work.
Right. So just real quick, Pizza Ninja says it looks like the plutonium canister from Back to the Future. That's really cool. And then the Force Awakens says ooze canister from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I think the Force Awakens needs to make one of those for next month. That'd be fun. I'd love to see everybody's ideas. I think this container, when I saw this design, I've been wanting to make one like this. And I saw the design and I'm like, oh, I gotta print that. So I'm actually pretty excited, and I've actually made it in a smaller size too, and put it in a clear PVC. I think it's upstairs, in a clear PVC tube. So just the ends of it is 3D printed, and the rest is clear. And that's actually really easy to make the clear container out of just regular plexiglass. But
right.
We can go over that another time if we wanted to. So anyways, you glue the parts into it, put it together like you're supposed to, and you end up coming out with one of these. Oh, and 3-inch
What glue are you using, by the way?
So I am using on it some of the acrylic cement here, the Weldon.
Okay, so it's the same.
I use this. I didn't have any problem with it gluing together. Yeah. I'm sorry, say it again. This is a gel.
That's the gel.
So it takes longer to set. I've used it on 3D printed parts before, talking about the liquid here.
Right.
You can, but I don't know if it melts the 3D printed part correctly or not. Let me find some 3D printed parts before we get off, and I'll glue them together, see what happens.
Okay.
So, but this here worked fine with these parts here, gluing them to the PVC pipe. So I have here is a 3-inch PVC pipe. Now you can make this whatever length you want. I end up going with, I want to say 10 inches, 9 inches. So you can do whatever size you want on it. I originally was going to go 12. But it was really, really long for me. So I thought it kind of looked misplaced. I don't know. Misplaced. I was actually going to make this one smaller to fit into an ammo can itself. Because I don't think I'd just put this out and hide it out in the wild.
No, it could get mistaken for
the
dreaded.
I think really easy. I can definitely see this being mistaken for a bomb over just a PVC tube. So, but anyway. So once you put it together, you have the container in between that separate the log and the swag if you want to use it. And so I had to resize mine because I have different 3-inch pipe. So this one was a little small, so it would still glue in. So I end up just going into, if you have a 3D printer, you know how to go ahead and make it a tiny bit bigger. So if you make it a little bit bigger, it just snaps in and you can glue it in wherever you want. And you can adjust it, obviously, by height before you glue it anywhere you want in here. So that is completely up to you. The top is pretty cool.
Right, and you're just using the cement right on the side of the PVC.
The weld on. You could use the PVC glue as well. But PVC glue, you'd have to put around the outside of that, slide it down, and then it would be all over the place. You have to let it dry before do anything to it. I just didn't like it as much. So I end up using just a little bit of this on around it. So if you're sliding it through the pipe this way, if you put a little bit around this edge, right, then it will just spread a little bit on the pipe. I didn't go very far either with mine. So, but anyways, it's just gluing. You'll figure it out. It's pretty easy. The top, I don't have it here, but the top goes together just as easy when you get it. You have your top piece, you have your handle, which pops in, and then you glue this piece in on top, and that actually holds. Sorry, this has to snap in. There you go. This actually holds the handle from popping out. So between there, so it will slide in and out, but you won't be able to pop out of the top. So it's actually a really cool design.
That is a great design.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to print that?
Oh boy, now you're asking. Let me think here real quick with my slicer that's probably open with it, and it's not. All together, I think that these were, man, I printed so many of them between resin and this. I think these were like 2 hours, 2.5 hours each. Okay. I think this was like 3.5. So it would take you a day if you just sat there and you printed all day long.
Okay.
Or if you had more than one printer, it would take you half a day.
Right. And it's not like you have to sit there and watch it the entire time. So
I don't watch mine, no. You can if you want, but
I know Curtis likes watching it. It looks satisfying.
I always watch the first layer usually, because if it's going to come off of the sheet, that's typically when it happens. Well, either that or it's towards the last layer that it pops off, and then you got to start all over. So, but I haven't had an issue with anything popping off at all lately. So, anyways, I'm excited to see. I use on mine. If you go back here to this real quick, or I can show it up here.
Come on, stop.
No problem. I use filler primer. Okay. So, because in 3D prints, you get these little lines. And I think we talked about this a little bit last week. Here, let me go to the regular camera.
Okay.
There you go. I think that's a little bit clearer. So you see the 3 layer lines. I use the filler primer. I haven't sanded yet. So it's a filler primer sander that I use. And then once you sand it, most of your layer lines should go away. And then you can actually spray it again. and sand it again if you want to, if you don't like the layered line look. So I use 2 different types. Wasn't going to get into it, but I'll just pull it out real quick.
So OzFox is saying good day and season screens from the Down Under. Same as with Darren, as asking to say good day, and I hope everybody had a great Christmas. So I do as well, and welcome to our friends from the other side of the earth, from where we're at, and just thank you.
From the future,
where it's supposed to be hot, right now. But yeah, thank you. So, all right. So what kind of primer are you using?
So I use the 2-in-1 filler sandable primer, the Rust-Oleum stuff, or I just got this and I haven't tried it yet. It's a Bondo brand filler primer. Then I'm curious. It's twice as expensive as this other one, but it has really good reviews. I hope it turns out pretty good. So we'll see what happens. But I know this is what I use on most of my stuff. Yeah. So, and if you have a big enough resin printing, we went over it last week, but this is the biggest my resin printer will go.
Put it up there again.
Yeah, I'm put both up. So this is the biggest my resin printer will go. But you see how clean it all is,
right? And
then this is the 3D printed. So I haven't cleaned it up yet at all, but this is just right off of the plate. It's, maybe you can see it, but anyways, it's nice,
right?
But someone was telling me that resin printing is, if you drop it, it will break. So I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, we'll have to do a test on that sometime.
Yeah,
so,
sometime.
The Pizza Ninja says, I so want to see black light and a hidden UV code on that container Chad is building.
Cool. Well, he can build one.
Yeah.
That'd be a good idea. He can come on the show next week.
Come up with a different type of 3D, come up with a sci-fi, or even if you can build it within the next week, show us your rendition of this container. So,
you know what you could do? This is the problem with doing these. We go off subject so bad. Well, we get ideas, right? That's the whole point of the show.
That's what. Yeah.
If you put a clear piece in the bottom of this, and you did the black lights. So if you put a clear piece of acrylic in here, right, and you had to look into it, you could actually put a black light inside with UV ink written on the acrylic. That would only light up. My lights here are too bright. But like this, and it would reveal a code. And this one, it's too bright in here to show. But
I've seen that one.
Black. Yeah, there's that UV ink in there, and it would actually maybe reveal a code or something. I don't know. But that's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
So many ideas. I love it. Thanks for putting that in there. One sec here.
You in the build cam? Probably not.
Sorry, I had to cough.
So, not COVID.
Yeah, well, not since I was tested last. I get 2 weeks off work though if I have COVID, right? I don't get that lucky. So anyway, that is it. Any other questions on this one?
No, I really like that, and I think that would be. I would like to see a whole bunch of different renditions of that one. I'm thinking of some different ones for me as well. And that would be, that's actually such a real easy one, and be able just to 3D print it pretty quickly. And you're using PETG when you print that. Is that correct?
This I used PLA Plus.
PLA Plus. Okay. PLA Plus, does that one give off the fumes or no?
No. So it's supposed to be a stronger PLA. It's supposed to be, they say, just as good as PETG. I haven't tested it out in the weather, but no, I just use the PLA Plus on this. So, but use what you want. PETG is always preferred.
So Ryan says, I hate to see how many things you would create with 2 weeks off.
Ryan gets a lot of messages from me on different things. So this weekend, actually, our group, you guys got to see when I had a day off for Christmas, all the stupid stuff I did just to keep myself entertained. So, but yes, thanks, Ryan. You know what it is? It's half the stuff that sits around in the shop I end up throwing away a few years later because I made it because it was kind of fun to make, and then tired of it sitting around.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I know. I understand. I have stuff here in the shop. I mean, I just cleaned it up and ready to build some more stuff and everything. But like I said, that container gives me some new other ideas to be able to do some things that, I don't know, maybe for an event here in Memphis coming up, might go out in something. And I like the idea of putting that into an ammo can of some aspect of it. So that would be something really neat and entertaining for that, how to do that. Now, I mean, I love all the different ideas of with the infrared, with the UV light and all that. That just sounds really, really great.
You know, if you did a dino version of it, I wonder if this would fit. If you did a dinosaur version, I don't know how Jurassic Park-ish it would be. Of course, I wouldn't put the divider all the way up at the top. You could actually put the container in it. If you did some kind of, you could do Jurassic Park logos or something on it. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff. I know it's not part of the movie. It wasn't in the movie, but I think it's kind of cool.
I mean, it would be really, I like it. It's really cool. I love that design. And then it just comes down to painting it. So how you want to paint it and different stencils or whatever you need to do. So
yeah, that's a fun part. And I thought about going through. So most of mine, I'll prime it. So all mine, I prime in sand. And then I'll go through with a coat of whatever I want for my underlayment. So usually it's metal or black, something light or black, so metal looking. And then I'll go ahead and put some wear marks on it, which we've talked about before. Let me find my traveling pit droid. So I do silver or whatever color underneath, and then I'll use a latex paint.
I'm putting it in the build cam. There's the build cam.
Okay. And then you go ahead and you can weather it, put some wear marks on it. Really simple. So you want to do a underlayment of some kind of silver. Some people do black and do a lighter coating. It's completely up to you, but that's what I like to do on a lot of my containers as well. So it's really simple to do, and we can go over that at some point too.
That may be something that we want to do. That may be something we want to do here pretty soon, is kind of show how to do some weathering with some painting on your caches. That I think that would be really good. I think our viewers and all that would like to see that. I would like to see that because that's something that I'm wanting to do better at on a lot of different stuff that I do. So I think that'd be really cool. I think that'd be great.
It's so simple. You'll see it and be like, oh, that's really easy. So you've seen my droids and stuff that have that. So it's kind of fun. That was the one that gets me.
The things that are the simplest, you're sitting there, it's just a palm forehead moment. It's like, oh, are you kidding me? Why didn't I do that? Yeah. I mean, I think that's the same way that we've talked about of why people like the mechanical style gadget caches a lot of times more than they do the electronic, and they give you the favorite points is because it's like, whoa, why didn't I think of that? So, so Ryan's saying he'd like to see that as well. So yeah, I think that's we'll put that down on the calendar of one of the shows that we'll do is weathering of paint, how we could do that, how do that weathering look. So, or different paint techniques. So
we'll put it down for our next, or as one of our shows, not our next show, but
not the next one.
One of our shows.
All right.
That's from a previous show, for a previous show. I'm sorry, I was listening to. Sorry, I don't read the whole comment. I'm reading to myself.
Previous show. Yeah. So we've talked about it before, and we haven't come back to it. So yeah, we need that's something that we're putting on the list for next year, that we will definitely get into some more of that. So
yeah, so anyway, so that's one container we can talk about.
Okay.
And we can go in the other room real quick and talk about the other container that I'll be making something out of, which this is a really easy way. So these containers, let me go ahead and go in that room there.
Hey, go ahead and turn the camera off before you go that way.
Yes, thank you. I had one thing to do and I failed.
There we go. As you go into the other room. All right.
Okay. So my fan is on still.
Oh, is it? I can hear it.
You didn't hear it?
No.
I can. It's right above me. So, okay. So on this one, these I find at Goodwill, secondhand stores. And I like to use these because they actually have a look to them I think is really cool sci-fi-ish. and they are tool boxes, right?
Okay.
So
Oh yeah,
these
those
are
are
just
cool.
empty. You can get them for $5 or less at a secondhand store. Even if it has a tool in it and you spend $10 on it, I mean, what
Right.
container are you going to go find somewhere for $10? So the only thing is they're not weather tight. So you'd want to put it inside something, which if I'm going to make it a sci-fi look anyway, I'm going to put it inside
Right. Right.
something, because I don't want it walking away. So when you get these, now they could be anything you want, any kind of box, but this is just one that I'm showing an example of. I actually ended up having 3 of these, so it's actually kind of convenient. It has all the parts inside, all the dividers for the tool, the chargers, the drill, all that stuff. And all you have to do is cut that out.
Right.
You may
I was
even
gonna
want
ask
to, I
you
thought
to cut
about
that out.
actually leaving a section here to use for batteries to hide them or to mount them.
Right.
But again, that's up to you on your layout, however you wanted to make it. And I've actually thought about inside this, in here, you can see the groove. I actually thought about putting in some weather stripping in there.
Yeah.
So when you close it, it actually will weather, it will add a seal, except for this end here. I don't know how well this side would seal, but it's just a thought. It may keep a little bit of weather out. So what I end up doing on this is grabbing that, sanding it before I prime it, and I end up cutting everything out from the inside and sanding it. So this is
what
one
are
that
you
I'll do
using
a
to
build
cut?
on.
What?
So
do you use to cut the rock?
I'm using a multi-tool,
Okay.
fine tool. If you have a brand, multi-tool. Trying to think of mine here. I have 2 fine tools and 1 Milwaukee. So Fine is a brand. So this is the one I used on this. So really simple. They have different blades come off. You can actually turn the blade. Right. If you don't have one of these are some of the best tools to have around your house for anything. So
yeah, I have one. I have a corded one. So I just wanted to know what you were using.
Yeah, I have 2 of the Fine brand ones I've had for 20 years that are corded, and I have this one that's cordless. And this one I use 99.9% of the time. So the other ones are in the, I don't know when the last time I opened up the other ones. So they're nice, and they're like $100 without the battery. So not a bad tool to have.
So oscillating saw.
Yeah. Is that what? Yeah.
TriCash.
They used to use them years ago. The Fine brand, I believe, used them to cut casts off of people. So when you hadn't got your cast taken off, it was the Fine brand one.
Okay. But, I think I do remember those. One of the casts being cut off my arm. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the one I'll be building on. I sanded it so everything is flat. The DeWalt, I'm hoping it's not going to come through. It feels fairly flat on it, but we'll see how that comes out. So one fun thing about it is decorating. Now, one other thing, I bought this other one 2 years ago that I've wanted to make a sci-fi cache out of, and I've never even touched it. It's been sitting in the corner. The reason why I like this is it actually, when I was looking at containers, it has a spot here I can put something in. LEDs or something, buttons.
Some buttons
that look really cool. I like the look of it with all these extra parts on it. But my most favorite thing is, you can see how long it's been sitting. It has spider webs on it. Inside, I'll probably get rid of all this, but you can't see on the top here. This actually has this is a divider that divides the thickness. So you can see where this is.
Right. Yeah, I can see the thickness.
You could actually run wiring or put your Arduino or anything you want underneath there, and actually use these for buttons or whatever. And it's even hollow back here. So you could actually hide all of your electronics if you want to do electronics wiring, anything in there, and it's going to look really cool. It's going to look completed and finished. So you don't have to have any kind of fancy machine to actually cut out, CNC or laser cut out a cover. This actually already has it with it. So if I remember right, I think this was $29. It's already weather tight. It's already weather sealed. But again, I don't think I'd put it out without it being in another container. But I really am excited about this. Obviously, 2 years ago I was. But I was just thinking of all the different ideas you can do for these things. So one of these days, I will finish this, hopefully.
Yeah. So TriCash says the rigid boxes are great. I use them to carry my tools.
Yeah, I haven't used one for tools, but The way they're put together is nice. The only thing I don't like is the sticker. I think that's going to suck to take off, but we'll see. And I don't like the rigid on here, but we'll see. I think it's going to be fun. Someday.
I like it. I think it looks cool. I think that'll be a really neat kind of cache. I like the container idea. And of course, as you look showing that, because my projects that I've been doing lately is been building production TV studio basically in a box. And I'm looking at that going, you could put a TV screen on that. You could have other LED. You could even put your LCD screens or LCD screens on those little side pieces and how they're now. Does that come off that inside that area come off the thickness?
It does. Yeah, it does. I've not taken it off. But if you look at it, you see these little tabs here. Oh, no, let me
slide it down.
Camera.
Yeah, I can see the tabs now.
If I took probably a screwdriver and carefully, gingerly pulled those up, I don't have one here. The whole thing would pop off.
Right, and then you could cut those holes in there for the different aspects of it, to the buttons and.
That's my thought. I can't imagine.
Yeah, I like that.
That's Chad probably, or Tricastus would probably know better than me, since he uses them, how easy it is to pop off. But
nothing like changing things on the fly as we go through this, like always.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, don't pinch your fingers. So for audio listeners, Chad's sitting here wedging a screwdriver into the top of this ridge box to popping it apart just to see. We're curious of what it looks like underneath as we're kind of brainstorming about how we could use this box to make a sci-fi aspect of it. Yeah, I'm looking at this and like if you had like a screen in there, this might be a really cool event box. If you had a screen in there.
Well, that's what originally I got it for, is because I do all those puzzle boxes for events.
Right.
And that's what I originally got it for, actually. But again, that was
that's got quite a bit of room in there.
So yeah, there's a lot of room in there in the back of that, and so you could take it out, cut it, do all your holes, your design. You could cut a screen in.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, and then run all your electronics back there. And I'll be nice. So I'm actually looking forward to it. Kind of excited about it. So it's not going to shut down, but that's okay.
Yeah, so maybe for here in Memphis.
I'm going to have some new ones and maybe some of the stuff from the show, but that's a good idea to have something for Memphis. If anybody goes there, be able to find one or two.
I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to go over too real quick is make sure you take the hardware off if you can. So these just pop off of the DeWalt box. Same thing. If you look at it, it's pretty easy to see. These are up in here, all you have to do is take a screwdriver and push it out and they pop right out. So push out on the piece of metal bracket. So they pop right out, and then you can put it back in later. You can paint these if you want to. It's up to you. I'd probably end up painting mine separately as well, and then using the metal itself.
Right.
Probably scratching it up and then using it and putting some kind of wear, aging, whatever you want to call it on there. So, yeah. So now we'll go back to the other room on this. We'll talk about different things to put on the cache to make it look sci-fi-ish.
Okay.
Sorry, my screen is here, but my camera's here, so I got to remember to keep looking up here. So we'll go back into the other room here.
All right. And you'll have to turn that camera back on when you get over there. Okay. But hey, I just want to say thank you for everybody that's watching tonight or today or whenever you're watching this, and just hope this is really helping you as we're doing these projects. Oh, that's me. Projects. So if put in the chat, what do you think of these? What type of maybe different ideas you would have for these different containers? Just put those in the chat. Would love to see those ideas. And of course, this next month, 4th of July, the challenge is to build a sci-fi inspired cache. And tonight we're just kind of giving ideas. Next week we will be doing something else. We may have some ideas, a little more ideas next week, or we may be kind of going a little bit different. We'll be doing something sci-fi next week as well. So just continuing with this theme. Maybe we'll bring something else on. But put in the chat what you're thinking of the different aspects of the sci-fi. What maybe some of your brainstorm ideas that you're having, and just let us know. So, all right, Chad. Now you're over in the other room.
Yeah, thank you. It's a long walk, so you had to tell them that time. So a few things I like to put on my caches, and if you follow the Instagram, the Gadget Talk Instagram, I think I posted on there, the bounce one. You see some of the parts I put on mine. A couple things, and they're just around the house or something you can find again at a secondhand store.
Right.
Easy enough. One of the different parts to make it look sci-fi-ish. Now, you can call it kit bashing. You can call it, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot the name of it. Greeblies, whatever you want to call it, on your caches just to make them look more sci-fi-ish.
Okay.
One thing that I like to use on some of the bigger ones is this. Now, this is a head from a VHS player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this, I like to use these, and you can actually hook the power back up to them and actually have them spin if you're using Arduino or something that you wanted something to spin for a few seconds and you added the 3 volts to it. But that's up to you, or just having it there looks cool. You can even take it apart further than what you see here and use it as 2 different pieces as well. So it's up to you what you want to do with them. The other thing I love to use is heat sinks. And again, these are all my stuff is off of old computers. These were off of a DirecTV receiver. These are out of a DirecTV receiver. So there's one that's actually looks like it's gotten hot, so it's more goldish colored.
I think Adi's asking, what is a VCR?
Yeah, really. I had to explain that to my son. So, yeah, I don't know what exactly you call it. The other stuff. So this is part of my. I have 3 drawers of Greebly, or parts I love to use. So one of my biggest ones. I don't know how clear that camera is going to be. We can do it on the bigger camera if you want.
Okay.
CD-ROM drives. So there's all kinds of parts in a CD-ROM that if you pull it apart, there's so many good pieces in there that you can use. As you can tell, I have lots of them. They come in different colors, different sizes, different styles. There's rings. I couldn't tell you the technical term. I'm not a tech guy.
Okay, so Adi's asking, no, the spinning thing of the VCR. That was
that's a head.
The record head or the play head inside the VCR. So that's what that is, Adi.
Not the spinning thing. Oh no, the spinning thing. Okay.
Yes,
I'm sorry. I thought I thought he was joking about what his VCR is. Anyway. And then there's parts you can use like this, right? These are really cool if you stick them on your cache.
That's cool.
I keep a lot of parts. Heat sinks, again, we got this over here. I have tons and tons of heat sinks, different colors, different sizes, different styles. There's smaller ones, larger ones. I mean, these things are cheap when you just pick something apart. If you're going to throw it away or get rid of it, one of my favorite ones to use is this one here.
Oh, that is cool.
This I actually got at an electronics store. They had a bin full of them, and they were like a penny each. So I bought a ton of them. In fact, if you go back to my regular screen, I love.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that.
It's right here on my. Actually, all the Greeblies that we're going to go over are all on this here. So, anyways, they're perfect for making kit bashing or making sci-fi stuff. So I have so many different types of these. It's amazing sizes. Unfortunately, I'm kind of a hoarder. Little things like this, you could put this in the box, drill a hole this size through it, right? Pop it on, glue it in, and put something through here. It could either be a button, an LED, or anything. This is a plastic piece to the side of a paper towel tube. So my automatic paper towel dispensers that I have, they hold the thing in. So, you know, there's just so much stuff. If you go to electronics supply store, if you have a surplus store next to you, luckily we have Boeing here. So if you go to Boeing Surplus, you can get all kinds of fun stuff there. These here work great. You can thread it in actually in there and twist this in there. These I've used. This is just a jack plug, but it looks cool. Different types of heat sinks like this is cool. And then you can go, I have way bigger heat sinks and everything. These are off CD-ROMs as well. And then magnets. Magnets are always good to keep. These here are really cool looking. These are off of a TV mount for a TV. I mean, I think that's pretty much it that's in here. I used to 3D print a lot of parts to try and make them look really cool. But if you go through all your stuff you're throwing away, or you go to a secondhand store, you can find the real stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool because all that is just dressing. It doesn't necessarily have to work. You're just dressing it up, adding that bling to it or whatever you want to do, adding it to it. That's what I was going to say earlier when you're showing those different things. I remember us talking before that on the carbonated signal,
the signal and carbonate.
All those different things were in there that you're showing that we've taught, and including on your time traveling backpack in the back that behind you over your left shoulder is the same thing. So those are just different elements that you can add to your caches just to bring up those different things. So in caches, I'm glad I'm not the only one saving those junk pieces. Hey, one person's junk is another man's treasure. Come on. And another
they're
man's
not junk to me until I get too many of them.
Well, if you get too many of them, we can send them out.
Yeah. So I have more. So yeah, I mean, just dressing it up, making it look cool. The cool thing about sci-fi is there's no real way to do it, right? Who knows what it's supposed to look like, right? There's no real ones out there. So you know, it's just like a spaceship. When you make a spaceship, who knows what a real spaceship's supposed to look like? I mean, that's why the tubes and everything are out in the hallways and everything.
I mean, just think about the props that were in Star Wars. The communicator that was in even as new as one of the prequels of I just drew a blank on it. The prequel of with the Force Awakens can help me with this, but it's the Phantom Menace. The communicator was a women's Gillette razor. They're using. Look at the droid that's out of a trash can. Look at all these different things. Those are simple props that were created out of these other aspects of it. So I mean, it's just amazing. Like Raptor XE saying, it's amazing. Let me pull this crown up. It's amazing what they use for props in movies. It really is. I mean, there's so many different things. If you actually start looking at the aspects of it, what that is. If you ever remember the movie Flight of the Navigator, where it was the ship. And it was the ship was alive and the little thing dropped down and was talking to the kid. The eyeball was a light bulb. That's what that was. I've actually seen the actual part.
Did he go over that?
I don't remember if it was Adam Savage or it was a kid that looked like if it wasn't him. I don't think it was, but that was when I was in LA at one point. I was house sitting, helping a friend house sit. And he was the production designer of that movie, and he had that prop in his garage. And I remember looking going, "Are you kidding me? That's all that was? It was a light bulb?" And so, I mean, I was like 17, 18, 19 at the time, seeing that, and I hadn't gotten into all these different prop pieces yet, and I was like, "That is just really crazy. That's just a light bulb."
Yeah, so, I watch a lot of the prop videos. And like one of them on Star Trek, one of the when they made the props for one of the newer Star Trek movies, the transporter. The top of the transporter is a bunch of strangers from IKEA. the prop makers were like, one of the best days they have is when they get a budget and they get to go to IKEA. They buy all kinds of stuff from IKEA for their props.
Right.
So it's amazing what they use. It's cool. And you look at it and you don't know, you can't tell it's from IKEA that it's a strainer until they tell you. And then it's like, oh, that is a strainer, so it's actually really cool. You can't go wrong.
So
with it.
If you have an IKEA in your area, and I have one that's less than a mile away from me, or maybe a little over a mile down the street, go there. You can find some really cool stuff. Force Awakens is saying Mr. Fusion from Back to the Future was a prototype coffee maker. There you go. You look at the Death Star, when they fired the Death Star, that's a Grass Valley video picture. I mean, it's just things that they're using. It's just crazy to look at the different props that they're using in these different movies. And that's what, so come up with some props, come up with something and put it into a cache. And guess what? That's going to make it sci-fi. It's going to make it a sci-fi creative cache. It doesn't necessarily have to be a gadget. It can be a creative cache that is sci-fi based. So, and that's what we want you guys to create this next month in January, wrong J month, January 2022. I want you to be able to create a sci-fi inspired cache. And once you have that up, we would love to have you come on the show and show us your cache and do that. And that's going to be the last Friday, or not last Friday,
Tuesday.
Last Tuesday of the month for sci-fi. I used to do a thing on Friday night, Stargate and all those different things on Friday nights. We'd have a bunch of friends. We call Fry Friday. We do hot wings. We do French fries. We do fry everything. So it's always sci-fi. Sci-fi Fridays.
Oh, that's cool. I've not heard of that, but that sounds really good.
Yeah, we did a lot of stuff. So I didn't get this. Never mind. Anyway, I'm not doing that stuff. I do need coffee. I do. I just can't talk today. It's been long. It's been a long weekend with Christmas and everything else. Ryan's saying Derek needs coffee. But that's just something that we want to do. Want you guys to do is to be able to do those caches this next month. And love to see what you come up with. Of course, send us an email and to gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com. Tag us on Instagram at Gadget Talk Podcast. We'll see those as well. All those different aspects. And then we'll get in touch with you and have you come on the show on the last Tuesday of the month of January to be able to showcase your cache.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be anything we're doing, right? If you're going to build one, just build one out of whatever you want, right? We're just giving some suggestions. One of my favorite ones that I got, and I have some plans for it, is this heat sink.
Oh,
which is cool.
I've never seen a heat sink that.
I'm doing another steampunk cache, and I think the copper is going to be awesome.
Oh, that'll be really cool.
I'm kind of excited. Now, other things I use, I mean, I have so much stuff in here I could go through all day. One of the other big things, let me see if I can find it here.
I mean, if you just look at your workshop, just look at all the different side stuff you have. You got, of course, Signal and Carbonite. You got Grogu in the pram. You got the pit droid in the back. I can see steampunk backpack. You got a radiation container up in the top right. I mean, it's just, and then you have a gun, your Nerf gun, I think is down here on your left bottom here. I mean, and then you have Groot.
Oh, that's my Oculus.
Oh yeah, that's your Oculus down there. And then you have a face sucker back there in a container too. I mean, there's so much sci-fi stuff that you just have in your shop anyways. So
yeah, I got to finish that face sucker container. We'll have to. I wish we did more shows on just props and building stuff in general, just being a maker, because we could do that all day long. If that's anyway,
something you'd like us to do, something
I would
like
love to. If you don't want to talk about just geocaching and making stuff, because honestly, just being a maker and making things, you can turn anything into a geocache.
Right.
So I just like hanging out. I love making stuff.
Yeah, and that'd be something that could, like we're talking about making props, and these props could turn into different types of aspects of a gadget cache.
Yes.
So you saying very inspiring ideas using parts from different machines. Really enjoyed this show. I hit the like button. Well, thank you. And if any others have not hit that like button, go ahead and hit that button. Give us a like. Really would appreciate that. If you're new to the show, subscribe. And of course, the network, a whole bunch of different shows. So, but all right, Chad, what do you got there? I'm looking at what you got on your build cam.
So a couple other things. I don't know how clear that is to you. Is that very clear? Is that kind of?
It's all right.
Is it okay? Because I can show it in my regular camera too.
No, we're good. We can see it. I think that they're popped.
It's clearing up.
You like
one
the
thing I use
idea
a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it too because I love doing that stuff. So these are LED holders here. So these are really cool to use. So they're chrome. You can get them in plastic. You can sand them. You can paint them. And so your LED goes in here, but it trims it out really nicely and makes it look very professional and very sci-fi-ish. So this is another thing I use a lot of there. And these are not very expensive. You get off of Amazon or at your local Radio Shack. So if you can find
Radio
one.
Shack, a local Radio Shack.
I know of one, Mingo, right next to or Colby, Kansas has a Radio Shack still.
Okay, because I think that was the last time I've seen a Radio Shack was in Colby.
Yeah, me too. The other thing I love to use are braided cables. So these are sink or toilet or whatever you get cables. A lot of them are that if I end up switching some out, I'll keep the old ones, or I have just different things. So this one here is a nice big hot water tank braided line that I like to use. So these look really cool for sci-fi effects and steampunk, whatever you want to use them on, as well as gauges. What's funny there, Derek?
Sorry, saying they still VCRs there too. The Radio Shack in Colby.
Nice. A couple other things that I like to use too are gauges. If you stick gauges on there, they're fun. And these are, I guess I can show them to you. These are water gauges. So you could actually have a cache that you have to pressure up to a certain amount. Before it will go off. So I have tons of these because we have to replace our gauges every 5 years. So I have cases of them because I'm a holder. And then anything else you think about. So if you have any ideas, I mean, let us know. I mean, I could talk all day long. I have stuff. I have drawers and drawers full of stuff. LEDs, LEDs on stuff.
I know. I was trying to go through some of those, and you locked them on me. So,
yeah,
the one that had the idea one.
Yeah, you got to keep that locked up tight. Some of the other fun things, if you have a battery in it, if you just use a voltage meter, right? It puts LEDs on there that gives a reading, and it's actually really cool. In fact, let's see if this has power. So I was messing around one year and made this, which everybody knows it's a Pokemon thing. You have to go 8.47 miles or meters or kilometers before it will hatch. That is just a 9-volt battery reading. So that's a voltage meter that is reading the voltage on it. So it doesn't really track it, but it's kind of a fun little thing to do. So I want to rebuild that thing so bad. I built that before I had any tools to do anything or knew how to. My first EVA foam project. So anyway, so I have so much stuff in here. Just we've gone over the 7-segment displays, how you can use them to make a number pop up. Those are really cool to use. I mean, anything that lights up is just a cool effect on a cache. Anything pops up or moves. One of my favorite ones is on the other side of Signal. But here, let me pull it off.
All right. think I saw this.
Yeah, everybody saw it. I think Brian's the only person who showed it. I might have showed it to you separately.
Okay.
I had to
Yeah.
find something to switch it over with. So everybody who watched CashCon saw it. Just LED displays. So you can download anything you want to this. And this is just a 3D printed cover on the display itself that goes onto it. You can get them in different colors. You can download a lot of different effects. You can have it do different things. So these are really fun to have sitting somewhere. If you had a box here, in fact, let's go to the other room real quick.
Okay. And as he's going to the other room, I'm pulling that up on the screen. There he is. So he's got, okay, so here's the box. I'm going to fill that back into the
One thing I was thinking about this is you could actually 3D print a piece for this and have this sit and fill this in perfectly inside that little slot. Remember I was talking about slots? So this I think would normally fit in there. I don't want to break it out of there. And then you could 3D print the whole thing or cut it out in wood or acrylic or anything you want. And it would be kind of cool that if you had to push a button to turn it on or something, it would give you a message, or you can put a different language in there, anything like that you want to put in to give you a code. So those are actually really cool to use. You can use it there. You can put them anywhere on the cache if you want, and it just makes it really pop out. So
it does. I think that's really
I
cool.
love using these, and these aren't that expensive. They're I'll go back to the room now. They are I think they're about $8 on Amazon, and you can get them in, I have them in blue, green, and red and white, I think.
Okay. Those are really cool. I like those. I haven't
so they come in many colors. So I don't know what color this one is, but this is blue. But anyways, they're really fun to use. If you ever have a chance to use them, they're cool.
Yeah, TriCache is that display. So, and you were just showing it. So hopefully that helps.
What?
TriCache was just asking what the display was.
Yeah, so that's fun. You can even do a 3D printed display and put it up at an angle. So this here it sits in. So you could actually sit on something and pop up at an angle. I mean, there's just so much stuff, and it doesn't have to be anything. The eye for my Pit Droid is just...
It's one of those plasma things.
It's a plasma belt. So it's battery powered. And I have mine hooked up to 3 volts. And it's just a plasma thing. So anything you think about, I can go all day on this stuff, and I probably still wouldn't even hit half of the stuff that I have. So again, it's up to you. Cool. However you want to do it. I'm really excited and curious to see what people come up with.
I am too. And I want to congratulate Minimag. They just got an FTF. They've been listening to the show and running out after this FTF as they've been listening. So congratulations.
Great show just to listen to and not watch.
Yeah. Yeah. So unless somebody else was driving and you were just watching and listening, that's great too. So, but congratulations on the FTF.
One other thing real quick.
Okay.
Go ahead, Derek.
No, I was just going to say, once again, we just want to remind everybody that the challenge for January is to build a sci-fi inspired cache. And it doesn't have to be a gadget. You can use different like prop ideas to put on the outside of it just to make it look sci-fi-ish. That's all we're asking. It doesn't have to be a gadget or anything like that. Just make a cool looking cache that would be inspired from maybe your favorite sci-fi movie, whether it is, let's say, Wheel of Time that just came out, or if it's The Abyss, Alien, whatever your sci-fi movie is, Star Wars, Star Trek, Fifth Element, whatever it is. And there's some really cool ideas in Fifth Element that I've seen that we could do. Yeah. Making a multi-pass, making the stones, and there's a lot of ways that you can 3D print those and just have them in there, maybe come up with a puzzle with that. But just make a sci-fi creative cache. If you want to make it a gadget cache, that's cool too. But just kind of make a sci-fi cache and let us know. You can email us at gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com, or you can also tag us on Instagram at Gadget Talk Podcast, and so then we can have you come on to the show the last Tuesday month of January, and you'll be one of the feature guests, and you'll to showcase your cache on there. And so, but that's something that we'd love to see you do. We're going to be building some other inspired ones this month as well, and you may see some things here and there. But so go follow the Instagram if you haven't. Check that out, and we'll see what else pops up.
Okay, so real quick, just wrap stuff up. Multipass, like we were talking about, RFID card reader. You can put anything on it. You can print on it and use it to scan somewhere. The other thing I was going to say, I love handles on stuff. So very sci-fi-ish, very space-ish. Just little holders or handles for your for cabinets, right? I take these off of whenever we're throwing cabinets away. I take these off and keep them. Hence the drawer full of them. Paint them red, and you put them on the front of a cache or on front of a container, and I think they look really cool. You can paint them any color you want, but I think that really makes the panel look really cool.
Yeah.
This one's a really old one, but anyway.
Yeah, Ryan's giving us all day. The Maze that just came out last week, which is really good. I really enjoyed it. Jurassic Park, Avatar, Dune, a lot of movies that are coming out. Book of Boba tomorrow.
Now, I don't know when Dune. Whenever I watch a movie, I'm always like, I saw it. I'm just trying to think what I would make out of it. I don't know if there was anything in there that I'd be like, oh, I have to have that, because that's what I look for when I watch a movie. I'm always looking for something that's really cool. Even Matrix, I don't know if there was anything in there that's like
somehow you've the code dropping or going up. This one was actually going up.
Someone has one like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Someone has a Matrix one like that somewhere.
We have a code down.
It had all the numbers coming down, and then it made a code, and I don't remember who told me about it. I thought it was you.
Wasn't me.
Maybe it was Dave Wagner. So,
okay.
But anyway, yeah, anything like that. I think that is just so cool. Sci-fi. I mean, there's so many places to go on there. So, I did want to bring up too. Remember we were doing the 3D ROM drives, cache build.
Yeah, we'll try caches.
Yes, I wanted to show people this because I thought it was really cool. Oops. I just messed up my computer screen. We can show it. Let me see here. It should be right. I pull up the right screen. Rookie.
Yeah, the joy of using multiple screens. Even though I'm out in the my laptop's over here. I have a screen right below my camera, and then below, even further down, then I have another where I have multiple cameras. If I wanted to, I could simply even as I adjust this camera, I think it's on there. I could simply just pop to another camera that's down. I mean, we got screens everywhere, and we are looking to doing some upgrades here for the show anyways with our production stuff. So something to look forward to as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Trying to share screen. Now it's
so Rumbacat says his entry will be symbiote containment. I think I said that right.
It's thinking. That's weird that it's not letting me share the screen. And we'll go over it another time. So it's a lineal actuator made with a step motor from a CD-ROM drive.
Okay.
It's on Thingiverse. It's actually underneath. It's on the second page of the top last 30 days of their posts. When I saw that, I thought of TriCaches right away because it's actually really cool. I was actually thinking of a lot of good ways to use this in a cache, and it's not hard to make. So, although I do like the drawer that comes out and you already have a platform or something to put a book in or a logbook,
right?
This actuator is really cool, and I do not know why it's not letting me. It says it's not responding, so I don't know. I don't want to disconnect somehow. So we'll either show it next week or if you have computer and look it up under Thingiverse. It's really cool, and I think that would be a fun thing to add to a cache as well.
Okay. All right.
So
we will be
pretty much it.
I think that's it.
Sorry. Okay.
We will be back next week, and we'll be continuing our sci-fi theme. That's what this next month we're starting tonight doing this. So next week, and then the final will be on the last Friday of the month with the sci-fi aspect of it, where you get to featuring your caches that you've come up with different sci-fi themed creative caches. They can be gadget or just a creative cache of your decoration of how it is. We'd love to see those. So that will be the last Tuesday of January. And so next week we'll be back and we're going to continue sci-fi theme doing all this month. And so we will look forward to that. Any other last word, Chad?
No, just looking forward to it. You can't go wrong at all when you're building one of these caches. I mean, if you have any ideas, send us an email. If you want the 3D the plans for the tube, shoot us an email, gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll email you the plans, or you can go underneath Thingiverse as well and look underneath there. And I believe it's a sci-fi tube, I think is what it's called. But my computer right now is not. I'm actually worried about both my screens are white, so I'm hoping this is working.
I'm still seeing you, so we're
okay.
Get all that out. So
I'm not touching anything. I don't want it to go out.
So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week here on Gadget Talk. Look forward to it. Stay safe. Happy New Year. So we'll see you next year. We're excited. Be safe. Be safe out there this weekend, and stay warm if you're cold and in the snow and all that. If you're down under, don't get too cold down there. I'll stay warm, have fun at the beach, however you're going to be celebrating the new year. But be safe, and thank you for joining us, and we will see you next year.
Night, everybody.